Good morning, pre-calculus classmates. Okay, good to see you guys on the video, but you can see me, but I cannot see you guys. But today the class is talk about section 4.2, the unit circle. Remember last time I posted 2 videos to let you guys to learn what is a unit circle and also use the unit circle to define 6 trigonometric functions, right? But this time I want me to introduce these lessons for you guys. So now, if I'm comfortable to do that, and also I believe you're comfortable to watch me, right? Instead of the guy who doesn't know. So first I want to introduce what's the unit circle. So unit circle, that means unit. That means the radius is 1. So if you draw a XY plane, so I want to use different color as like Kiki asked me to always use the different colors, so marker. So now, what is a unit circle? First, you have a XY plane, and then you draw a circle, okay? And then unit circle, then the radius is only 1. So this radius is 1. We call this circle is a unit circle. So now unit circle, because also you already learned how to draw an angle on the standard position, right? So if I draw an angle like on a standard position, and then the radius, the terminal side, we'll talk about this is terminal side. Because at this terminal side, this is 45 degrees, right? So if this is 45 degrees and this is a terminal side, so this side intersects on the unit circle, we have 1 point, right? So this point, and then we know this point the coordinates. So now we can back to here already draw a lot of the unit circle here. So if this is a unit circle, so now the radius is 1, and then you draw an angle on a standard position. The terminal side intersect the unit circle at this point, right? So the coordinate is radical 2 over 2 is the x coordinate. The radical 2 over 2 is the y coordinate. So if I measure all this angle like 30, 45, 60, 90, a lot, right? On the unit circle, we have a different coordinates here, okay? That's we can use the unit circle to define the trig function. Before I talk about the value of the 6 trig functions, I want to introduce how to define this 6 trig function. First, if I have a unit circle here, okay, and then I have for example, this coordinate, I'm not sure it is 45 degrees, maybe it's any number. If this is theta, remember, we draw this on a standard position. We have to show the terminal side and the arrow, right, and the direction. So I said this is theta, but I said this is x and y is the coordinates of this point. This point means is the terminal side intersects on the unit circle. The coordinate is x and y. So now I want to define this 6 trig function. First, we have sine theta. So now sine, what is sine? Sine, you have to just need to memorize sine. Right now we're using the unit circle to define these 6 trig functions, right? So next lesson we need to use the right triangle to define this 6 trig function. So if you learn trigonometry, so it's maybe a little bit confusing, but just let you to just memorizing all this kind of stuff. You do need to know why, because this is about the definition. For example, why I'm Mr. Lee, because my father made the last name is Lee, my name's Bing Hong, so that's why I'm Bing Hong, because my father named me. The same thing, the same theory here. Why is sine? Because, okay, the mathematicians, they say, they name this is sine, so you don't need to know why. You just need to know, memorize. So now, based on this unit circle and the coordinate is x, y. So if this angle theta, I'm not sure how many degree or how many radian, it's just theta. If right now I define the sine theta is, if this right is y, sine is y, okay, over the radius r. But right now the radius is 1, right? So that means is y over 1. So that's why the sine theta is y. That means y coordinate. So cosine with this, since I told you 6 trig function. So next is cosine. Cosine theta is the x coordinate over the radius r. Because this is unit circle. The radius is 1. That's why it is x. And then tangent theta is y over x. Okay? So this, we call this 3 is the basic trig function. So I just told you there are 6. That means you have 3 more. So what's next? In next it should be secant, or we can use cosecant first. Okay, cosecant theta. What's cosecant theta? Cosecant theta is 1 over y. Okay, and then we have secant theta is 1 over x, and then we have cotangent theta is x over y. So you can see sine is, I said sine is y, right? Sine is y coordinate. Cosine is x coordinate. Tangent is y over x, right? You can see the cosecant a little bit like, oh, it's 1 over y, that means this is y, that means also we can rewrite the cosecant is 1 over sine, right? Because 1 over y, that's about the definition. We can see, actually we can say cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. What is reciprocal? That means flip, right? You flip, if this is fraction, you just flip the top to the down and down to the top. Flip. And also secant, you see, secant is 1 over x, so that means is, what is x? X is cosine, that means 1 over cosine. Okay, that means secant is the reciprocal of cosine. A cotangent is, you can see x over y, and tangent is y over x, and also you can say cotangent is 1 over tangent. Okay, that's why if you can memorize only these 3, and then you should know the other 3, because the relationship is just the reciprocal, the flip. Okay? That's about the definition. So right now you know the definition, and now I want to introduce how we can find some value of the 6 trig function. For example, I have, and also I already show you all these coordinates. So just let you guys know, you don't need to memorize all these coordinates, okay? So during the test or quizzes, I will give you this unit circle, okay? I will make some copies for you guys, just don't worry. You always can use this coordinate, okay? But right now I want to introduce how we can find some values of this trig function. Right now you have a definition of sine, cosine, tangent, cosecant, secant, and cotangent. If I ask you to find, what about sine 30 degrees? How we can find out the value of sine 30 degrees? First, you need to find a unit circle here and find out the coordinates of the angle 30 degrees. So you will see 30, 30 is here. See, right? So 30 is here, and the coordinates is regular 3 over 2, 1/2. So also based on the definition, sine is the y coordinate, right? Y coordinate, so based on this, x and y, what is y coordinate? You will see the y coordinate is 1/2. That's why sine 30 degrees is 1/2. Easy, right? Yes, absolutely easy. So just find out the degree, where's the degree on the unit circle, and then find out the coordinates. And based on the definition to find out what is the value of the sixth trig function. Okay? For example, how about I said cosine 30 degree? A cosine 30, so based on the definition, cosine should be x. So now 30 degrees here, that means x is radical 3 over 2. So that's why the value of cosine 30 degrees is radical 3 over 2. So how about tangent 30 degree? Okay? So tangent 30 degree, so based on the definition, tangent 30 degree is y over x. So now the y coordinate is 1/2, right? 1/2. And then over the x coordinate is radical 3 over 2. So this is not the final answer because there's a fraction. Over a fraction, you have to simplify to find the final answer. So how to simplify fraction over fraction? So you know the top 1/2. So fraction over fraction you can change to multiplication, right? They mean 1/2 divided by radical 3 over 2. They mean change to times what? Times the reciprocal, the flip. That means you have to change to times 2, flip the bottom to 2 over radical 3, and then cancel out the 2. You got 1 over radical 3. But also this is not the answer yet because at math we don't allow the radical on the bottom, so you have to simplify the radical. So you have 2 times radical 3 times radical 3 the top and the bottom, and then change to 1 times radical 3 is radical 3 over radical 3 times radical is 3. That's why tangent 30 is radical 3 over 3. Okay, for this one maybe it's a little bit like complicated, but you just need to practice. So do it more and more and so many times, and then finally you can find out how to flip and then how to simplify the radical. Okay, now we use the 30 degree as an example. How about find out what is cosecant? Cosecant 30 degree. Okay. Cosecant 30 degree, you can use 1 over y because based on the definition, and also you can use, if you know the sign, just flip the sign and then you find out. But first I want to use it use the definition to find the value. So cosecant 30 degrees should be 1 over y. So now 1 over y is 1/2. Then 1 over 1/2, that means change to 1 times 2. That's why it's 2. And also you can flip the sign, and then you can just 2 over 1, that means 2, right? So how about secant? As based on the definition, secant is 1 over x. That means 1 over radical 3 over 2, because x is radical 3 over 2. That means also if flip, that means change to 2 over radical 3 over 2, right? 2 over radical 3. But also, as you know, you cannot allow the radical on the bottom, so you have to simplify the radical. I know this is a little bit complicated, but you just need to know how to simplify radical. You just times the radical, the same radical, the top and the bottom, okay, at the same time. So now, that means the top change to 2 times radical 3, the bottom is radical 3 times radical 3, and change to 3. So that's secant. Okay? So now how about cotangent? Cotangent 30 degree. Cotangent 30 degree, so based on the definition, it's x over y. So x is radical 3 over 2, right? And then over y is 1/2. So the same thing, fraction over fraction, that means is the top fraction times the reciprocal of the bottom, then flip the bottom to 2. 1 over 2, flip them in 2. And then you cancel out the 2. Finally, cotangent 30 degree is radical 3. Okay, now that's how we can find the sixth trig function value based on the unit circle. So you see the unit circle here, we have a lot of coordinates. You do need to memorize, okay? So the only thing you need to do is find out the coordinates. And then, based on the definition, to find the value of the angle. So now I give you one more example, then we're done for today, and then I will post the homework on the Google Classroom, okay? So let me erase the board because my board is not that big. Right now we finished 30 degree, so I want to give you one more angle, okay? So how about I said, how about I want to do this 240. So sine 240 degree, and then I said cosine 240 degree, and then I said tangent 240 degree. Okay. After you know sine, so it should be sine the cosecant. I want to write down cosecant 240 degree on this side, and then secant 240 degree on this side, and then cotangent 240 on this side. Okay. So now the first step, after you know, you have to find out all these six trig function value of the angle is 240 degree. First step, go to the unit circle here. Find out where is the 240 degree. Okay, 240 it should be, okay, you find out here. Okay, a 240 degree, and then the coordinates. So first you have to write down, oh, the coordinate of 240 is negative 1/2, and then negative radical 3 over 2. Because this angle on the third quadrant, that's why the x and y coordinates, they are negative. After you know the coordinates, so first sine 240, 240, based on the definition, sine is the y coordinate. So immediately you should know a sine 240, y coordinate is negative radical 3 over 2. Okay? So y coordinate is radical 3 over 2. That's why the value of sine 240 degree is negative radical 3 over 2. Cosine 240. So cosine 240 is the x coordinate. So x is negative 1/2. That's why the value of cosine 240 is negative 1/2. So tangent 240, based on definition, tangent is y over x. So y is negative radical 3 over 2 over x is negative 1/2. So now negative, that means is positive. And also you can flip the bottom, change to times 2. The final tangent 240 is radical 3. Okay? Now, every time when you know the sine, you should know the cosecant because they are reciprocal. For example, I just need to, if you want to do it fast, you just flip the sine to get the cosecant. So if the sine is negative radical 3 over 2, so cosecant 240 is just, if this is negative, cosecant also is negative. You just need to flip. So flip this one, you can change to 2 over radical 3. As you know, you cannot allow the radical on the bottom, so you have to simplify the radical. How to simplify radical? You just need to times. So finally you have negative 2 radical 3 over 3. Okay, that is sine. So now secant, you just need to flip cosine. So that means it's negative 2. It's easy. After you know this 3, is to know another 3. You just need to flip. Okay? And then you need to flip this one. After you know tangent is radical 3, That means your cotangent just need to flip radical 3. So that means it's 1 over radical 3, right? That's how we can say it's flipped, reciprocal. But we don't allow the radical on the bottom. You have to simplify the radical. Again, how to simplify radical? You just need to times the same radical on the bottom and the top. So now, after you simplify this, so the top change to 1 times radical 3, the bottom radical 3 times radical 3 is 3. Okay, now to know how to find the sixth value function. So now that's another example. So today I just want to introduce this sixth trig function and then use the unit circle to define or find the value of any angles. So today's lesson is done. So I'm going to post the homework on the Google Classroom. See you.